Hey everyone, welcome back. I want to tell you about the 3 words I refused to say for 6 months. 3 words that would have saved my marriage, my friendships, and my reputation. I was wrong. My wife begged me to say them. My best friend pleaded with me, but I couldn't do it because admitting I was wrong felt like admitting I was worthless. This is about the deadliest sin of all, pride, and how one verse became the hammer that finally shattered the false god I'd built of myself. I've always been the smart one. Straight A's in school, full scholarship to college, fast-tracked at work, the person everyone came to for advice. And somewhere along the way, I started believing my own press. I was smart. I was right. I knew better than everyone else. If someone disagreed with me, I didn't consider that they might have a point. I considered them wrong. My wife would try to give me feedback. When you said that, it hurt my feelings. I'd respond, that's not what I meant. You're being too sensitive. Notice what I never said? I'm sorry. Because in my mind, if she was hurt, that was her problem, not mine. Pride had convinced me that being wrong was weakness, that admitting fault was failure, that apologizing was surrender. So I built walls around my ego and defended them at all costs. The breaking point came over a family vacation. My wife wanted the mountains. I wanted the beach. I made the executive decision without her, booked the beach house, told the kids. When my wife found out, she was furious. You don't value my opinion at all. I explained my reasoning. I argued, you're being unreasonable. She stared at me with tears in her eyes. You can't admit you were wrong. You can't apologize. You can't even consider that maybe you hurt me. Because I didn't do anything wrong, I shouted. No, she said quietly. You made a decision for yourself, like you always do. And you're so proud that you can't even see it. She took the kids and went to her parents' house, left me alone with my rightness and my ego. My brother came over that night. Just apologize. Tell her you were wrong to book the trip without her agreement. But the beach was the better choice, I insisted. That's not the point. You steamrolled her. That was wrong. But I couldn't say it, couldn't admit it, because admitting I was wrong felt like admitting I was less than. A week later, still alone, I went to church. The sermon was on pride. The pastor read Proverbs 16:18. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. He said, pride is the sin that tells you that you don't have any sins. It's the voice that says, I'm right, everyone else is wrong. I don't need to change, they do. And here's what pride does. It destroys you. Not because God punishes you for it, but because pride isolates you. It builds walls between you and everyone who loves you. I felt exposed, like everyone could see straight through me. He told a story about his own marriage, how he'd been so proud he couldn't admit when he was wrong. His wife almost left him because she couldn't spend her life with someone who refused to grow. Pride convinces you that admitting fault is weakness, he said, but it's actually the opposite. Humility, being able to say, I was wrong, I'm sorry, please forgive me, that's strength, that's maturity, that's love. After the service, I sat in my car for an hour. I called my pastor and told him everything. I don't know how to be wrong, I admitted. My whole identity is built on being right. If I'm wrong, what am I? Human, he said simply. You're human, like the rest of us, and humans make mistakes. You're standing on the edge of destruction right now. Your pride is pushing you off the cliff. You can either humble yourself, or life will humble you. I drove to my in-laws' house that night, asked my wife if we could talk. You were right, I started. My voice was shaking. About all of it. I was wrong to book that trip without you. I was wrong to dismiss your feelings. I've been so proud that I've stopped listening to you. I've made you feel small so I could feel big. And I'm sorry. I'm really deeply sorry. She was quiet. I need to know this is real. I need to see you actually be humble. Actually admit when you're wrong without me having to drag it out of you. The next 6 months were the hardest of my life. Learning to listen without defending myself. Learning to say, you're right, or I was wrong. Every time felt like dying, like my ego was being crushed. But slowly, I realized something. My ego needed to be crushed. It was killing me and everyone around me. I started apologizing to people I'd hurt over the years. Some accepted the apology, some didn't. But I did it anyway because it wasn't about my ego anymore. It was about truth. My wife eventually came home. We went to counseling. I learned what real listening looks like, what partnership actually means. Last month, we had a disagreement about our daughter's schooling. Old me would have dug in and argued until I won. Instead, I said, I hear what you're saying. I don't fully agree yet, but I want to understand your perspective better. We talked for an hour, and in the end, she was right. "Thank you for listening," she said. "That's what humility has given me. A marriage worth having, friendships worth keeping, a life worth living. If pride is running your life right now, know this. Proverbs 16:18 is true. Pride will destroy you. The fall is coming. You can either humble yourself now, or life will humble you later, and that's always more painful. Admitting you're wrong isn't weakness. It's freedom. Freedom from having to be perfect. Freedom to grow, to change, to become better. The 3 words, "I was wrong," might be the hardest words you ever say, but they're also the most powerful. They can save your marriage, restore your friendships, rebuild your reputation. Your pride isn't protecting you. It's imprisoning you. And the only key is humility.
Thanks for watching. Here are today's reflection questions. What's one relationship in your life where pride is keeping you from saying, "I was wrong"? If you had to choose today between being right or being reconciled, which would you honestly choose? Drop your thoughts about the story in the comments below. Your experience might encourage someone else facing the same choice. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more real conversations about faith and character. Remember, humility isn't weakness. It's the only path to real relationships.